Hello, my name is Dr. Scott Young, and today I want to talk to you about a two-part series. Firstly, we're going to talk to you about return rate, part one. Coming right up. So when you consider the returns of a hearing aid, that's a customized product. But I want to share with you just as a global understanding of returns. Now, in America, per year, there is $14 trillion exchanged between businesses to businesses, B2B, and businesses to consumers, B2C type of response. Now, $642 billion of all of those 14 trillion happens to be in returns. Now, when you go farther in this, and you can look at this at marketwatch.com, that will give you some of that information. It's really great information. The local stores, that would include all these small local businesses, okay? The local stores have anywhere from a 4 to a 10% return ratio. Now, if you delete clothiers, like you're getting a shirt from or pants or whatever, that is up at a 10% rate. Now, the local store places have a 4 to 8% return rate. Now, and there's some real good reasons about it that we will share with you next time. But I want to separate over here in the online stores. Now, online stores have the overall idea that we want to be really easy on returns. And it happens, you order something and you order it wrong or whatever thing that might happen. Your return ratio is about 25 to 40%. But what's fascinating is that the big box stores have a 30 to 40% return rate. So they're virtually identical. Now you would sit here and say, wait a second, let's just, and I'm not trying to beat up any one of these because you say Walmart, Best Buy, but we'll just use Best Buy. And on the other side, you got Amazon, for instance, a very huge online situation, online presence. So Best Buy has a 25 to 30, up to a 40% return ratio. Whereas on the other side of this, Amazon has the same number. And you think, why would they be at the same kind of return rate? Well, part of that happens is that they're a direct competitor to one another. You see, many people walk into Best Buy, snap a picture of the product that they're looking for, and then go buy it on Amazon for $5 less or whatever that might be. And so they know that direct competitor point is related to that product, so that's what they're fighting against. And what it does is if you're picking out a product, like I'm seeing lights over here, okay? Some of the lights I bought on Amazon, some of the stuff I bought at Best Buy. That's why I use this, okay? Trust me, I love going to that kind of store. And I love checking those out for those kinds of products. Now, if I don't know enough about the product, I actually go to Tulsa Marketing. Now, you say, Tulsa Marketing, who are they? They're the guys that help me with my YouTube channel here. So Tulsa Marketing will kind of look out, check the different places, and find the exact same type of product that I specifically need to produce my YouTube channels. So sometimes it's at Best Buy, sometimes it's not, depending upon what you're looking for, right? Sometimes it's on online issues. So they're a direct competitor related to a product. Now, on the other side of it is the local kind of store. Now, Best Buy, the big box stores, they want to call themselves local. They're really not. They're a corporate big chain kind of thing. So it's a very different product placement than the local places that you're going to find. See, when you think about going to, a big chain shoe store versus a small local shoe store, you're going to find a deeper level of service that comes in with that local place than you're going to find at the big store. It's because this place over here, the local store, is focused specifically on those shoes and how those shoes will work for their clientele. Now, while the big store tries to do that, they're hiring a little bit lower class of a person. It's not saying that they're bad people, okay? But they haven't focused and studied on shoes like that local store is. And so that becomes an issue, and especially with all the craziness that happens with the COVID virus in the March and April and even into May. And we have this issue that we can't even go to these stores. But why I kind of push people on the local idea is that local store will focus specifically on you and look at your niche, what you need to do and how they can actually fulfill that. Whereas the big box and the online places can't always do that in the same way. And that's why the return rate is so much higher overall. So we see the rate that happens differently in the local stores, that they're going person to person. It's also very fascinating, the difference between going into a big box store and returning something and having the product and returning it back versus going into the local store. What there is more relationship that happens there. It's not trying to push off the consumer, because if you think back, if some of you, now I'm 54 years old, so in 2020, and if you think back on, if you're a little older, you're gonna think back in the 60s and the 70s, it was almost unheard of to ask for a return. No one did it. You thought you were crazy kook for doing that. You might come back and complain about it, but it started this consumer protection era where we wanted to ask people, and specifically ask businesses, to return the money. Then we had to have the manufacturers that would take the product back. And so it became a set level of chains that occurred in there. Now, we're going to talk next time about fraudulent returns. We'll go specifically inside of hearing aids and some issues that happens, and we will talk about the 4 types of top 4 areas of where returns happen. So if you like what we're talking about, subscribe down below. You can see us at Hearing Solution Centers or heartulsa.com. And check us out. Ask some questions if you want to know more about it. Thank you so much.